Welcome back. The purpose of this video is to discuss two trades that I called out this past Friday on DraftKings and Qualcomm, which ran for 550% and 468% respectively. Now, a quick word about what you're seeing on your screen. These are the results. Obviously, this is from my Twitter account of Profits Taken. I want to note a couple of very important items about this because there are a lot of watch lists out there. First, I call out my trades the day in advance and then I reiterate in the morning. So there's no hindsight here. I'm not just digging up trades that did really well and saying, hey, I was on top of that. More importantly, for those of you who are new, keep your eyes out for a scam. I only call to one direction. So I'll say calls or puts. I'll give you very specific entry points and the actual options contract that we're looking at. The big scam going around, of course, is people who do both. They say, well, it's calls if it goes up, but puts if it goes down, and then they set their levels or their entry points. This makes it so that they can never be wrong. So the people who get burned, they don't mention, and then people who do well, they retweet. I don't do that. I'm very specific. So you see how things went this past Friday. I want to discuss how we entered those trades and how you can take a run for the higher percentages. How do you get to those 3, 4, 500% when your trade does run? What is a good time to enter? What is not a good time to enter? Because that seems to be the number one area where people have difficulties, and I completely appreciate that. Quick word about myself. For those of you who don't know, I'll keep it short. I became a professional licensed trader in 2005, as well as an options and derivatives specialist. I've been trading for quite some time, and as you see, I run my Twitter account, Profits Taken, where I give out daily watch lists. So we use a lot of different data to come up with these trades. I put them out in advance, and I'm going to walk you through the process right now. So let's get into some important items. So first of all, we're looking at DraftKings on the left, and you'll notice on the right is QQQ, that's representative of the NASDAQ. I always keep an eye on the general markets. I was going to add SPY in here as well, but I didn't want to add too much noise to this page. So I'm looking at QQQ, and I'll explain how I use that intraday for trading. But right away, I'll say you don't overly fixate on it, but it is important for some data. And we'll elaborate in just a little bit. So DraftKings, as we came into the day, was a low-priced contract. And why is it important? So it's sitting at about 20 cents to buy into. It's important to note because, remember, if it's only 20 cents, every cent is extremely important because we deal with percentages. And I want to drill that in. We have some people, some traders in the past who've kind of gotten hung up, whether they're behind or ahead. They say, oh, it's just a few cents. I'm only behind 4 cents. Well, you're behind 4 cents. You're behind a significant amount, right? So there's a significance based on every cent move, right? Just like if you're up 4 cents, you're up 20%. So that's really important to note. You're not just up a few cents. So what happens on the downside is people think, I'm only down a few cents, I can let it run. No, percentage-wise, you're down quite a bit, right? You lose 10 cents, you're down 50% of your investment. Same thing on the upside. People think, it can keep running, it can keep running. We're up, it's only up a few cents. Maybe it'll go up another $1. Know the security that you're dealing with. Know the options contract. So here you see in the morning, if you were taking this trade very early as it broke the entry point, which is our dotted line, 1945, then you're scalping, right? And scalping means a quick in and out. Here we get up to about 26, 27% as we get this break of the entry point. Take that, we take profits as it pulls back, you scale out. And anybody taking this early is scalping. You're looking for a quick move. If it continues and is sustained, of course, you could stay in the trade, but you're prepared to get in very quickly and get out. If you're not someone that does well, or if you're someone who struggles with cutting a trade quickly, maybe because you're trying to evaluate more things, it's all just happening too fast, maybe there's just a lot of nerves associated with it, I completely appreciate it. You don't have to be a pro trader from day one. Don't work the opening range if you find that you just can't, or if you don't like fast moving scenarios. Even if you've done well before, be honest with yourself, know what your abilities are, and approach things cautiously. What I tell people is actually to size down is a good idea. You just take less size, and then there aren't as many nerves, right? When you're dealing with thousands of dollars, you're very nervous. When you're dealing with maybe $40, you're not nearly as nervous. So build up and get to a point where you're comfortable. So you can see here, there's some scalping opportunities. We have a pullback in the markets. We do run up here, but one of the things I want to note is, would I have taken a scalp with what I saw from the QQQ? So this is important. And I say don't fixate, but when I see a big move, that's when it changes the way I trade. So I see a really big move down here. This is a sell-off. This is a dump-off, right? And it's a continued move all the way down. So if this was a different security, if it was a higher price security, something like perhaps Qualcomm, which we'll look at, it would have given me pause when I saw this big dump-off occurring, right? Because we're a couple minutes in once we break our trigger point, and a couple minutes in, we're already dumping off. It would have given me pause. And of course, here I could see the markets are depressed. So maybe on this push up, we're pulling back on the SPY. That might have given me pause just because we need an extended run to get into profit here. But on a quick early scalp, and I only needed a few cents in the underlying to move, we had a pretty good delta. I know that I can scalp this. So how do I know that it's time to get in when we come back here? Well, we're out of the high volatility period, or at least with respect to the open range. We see some movement down below. We see a sell-off. We see the same thing in the markets, but then we start to see the markets charging forward. And let's line up the time frames, right? So 1049 all the way through 1053. Let's see what the markets are doing at that time. 1049 all the way through 1053. The markets are barreling forward. We see huge move up. That's extremely positive, right? So that would give me even higher conviction to take this play. Not only that, we made a big move up, but we had a consolidation period here, which is good. I don't like to enter on too fast of a move. For example, if this was my entry point, I would have pause for this. I wouldn't be comfortable with it entering right at this candle. I would wait till one of these. Why? Because the IV is going to be extremely high. You're going to pay a very high premium, and then you're going to get a pullback if you don't get the same sustained movement. Also keeping in mind this was a Friday, so theta, that is time decay, is in full effect. But we look here, we see that we're lining up. We see the markets pushing forward, and we see our entry. This is a great opportunity. So now, how do we take this and maximize our profit? Well, this was a great setup, ran for 550%. You could have captured quite a bit of that on this entry. Why? Well, let's take a look. I would hold all the way up. This wouldn't give me reason to get out, right? You're probably about 80-90% up here, and then you pull back to 70. I might take a little bit of size off, but I'm comfortable holding. It hasn't pulled back such that I'd want to exit the position or take too much size off. And then we just get an absolute bull run straight up, and you see the markets are going with us. You can see there's consolidation on the markets. The markets start to push up. We're moving in parallel. That makes me feel very comfortable, and I also don't have a reason to exit. I mean, with the position sizing that you're holding here, you don't have a reason to exit. There are very small pullbacks. The big pullback might be here to here, and you're just charging up all the way, right? You could take a little bit more size right here. At this point, you're up at about 375, 380%. You could take a little bit more sizing off here or here. I think it's irresponsible not to take some size off because you make a move all the way up to here, and this is about 400% up. You could take some size off. You can exit your position. There's nothing to complain about at 400%. There's nothing to complain about when you make 40%. But we're talking about maximizing your return. And then if you have some sizing on, you wouldn't have any reason to exit here. No reason to exit. You're moving all the way up. This is the peak. This is our 550%. But you can't exit there because you don't know that this is going to be the peak. And keep an eye out. Anybody trying to talk to you about how I started with $30 and compounded into 70,000 in 1 week. They're lying. They're making it up. They're con artists, and they're trying to figure out a way to get you into their Discord account or something like that. And they probably do the calls and puts scam as well. We don't know this is going to be the peak, but that's okay. We still have some size on. I see a move from 550% up, move down here. I'm clearing out the rest of my size. I'm good for the day. I've made a move here, maybe took a little here, off here, kept most of my position, took a bit more off here, and took the run all the way up here, took my size off here. If you did hold and you saw this happen, you would get out here, right? So there's no way you'd go from here and allow yourself to go here, let alone here. That's way too much of a pullback. You're probably going from 550 to about 340%, if not less, right? You wouldn't sustain that. So what we do is we'd scale out. We'd start, a lot of our scaling out would occur here, up about 100, or this is about 90%, as I said, up a few 100%, take a little bit of size. You're just scaling out, right? And that's pretty easy with DraftKings on that day because it was 20 cents. So you're probably buying a few more contracts, maybe 10, maybe 20. So you're scaling out 4, 3 or 4. As you get higher, it's going to depend on your risk tolerance, but you scale out, you take your profits, be smart. So that's something that I want to underscore is there are strategies to stay in a trade while still locking in profits, right? You don't want to let it all ride. That's terrible. That's Furu style. That's That's not the way to trade. You can lose all your money pretty quickly. And you hear people talk about that. Ignore those harmful voices on Twitter. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that it's a great idea to watch the markets, because this gave us a clear signal. It's takeoff time. We see a huge move in the markets. We see a huge move on the underlying. And this was an easy trade because really, look at how quickly we pushed up. Look at how few pullbacks we had from here to 550%. The only real areas of pullback are right around here, and then we start to come off here. And I mean, you take a little bit of size off, like I said, maybe a little size off here. And if you did just want to try to hold it, you're out by here, right? Your average might be somewhere in the 300s, 400s, depends on how aggressive you are. But if you were sizing out, that's the way it would play. And the market really helped us understand where the moves were going. Now, I'm going to pull up Qualcomm because we see something pretty similar. So for Qualcomm, this is really interesting here. See how we have that sell-off that I discussed earlier in the NASDAQ on the QQQs? We see that happen here. And we have our trigger at 160.10 with Qualcomm. Now, I was asked, why would you have maybe not taken this, right? I was focused on DraftKings, but why might I not have jumped in here where it kind of pushed back up through our trigger point, right? Because when I set a trigger point that's below where the price is I'm looking for it to come down and break back through. So what would have maybe given me pause here was just the extent of the sell-off, right? Because look, we're at 933, and 933 is when we start to see, here we are, 933, we're pushing down, we consolidate for just a little bit, and then we have another big move down. So after that move, I'd like to see a little bit more consolidation on the markets and see where they're going. That might have given me pause. You could have entered here, but and some people did, and I completely understand it. This would have been a stop out, and it happens, right? But I also don't go in full position on the day. That's the other thing that I want to mention, is that leave some capital space, right? Your position sizing shouldn't erode your entire buying power. And if it does, you just have to make peace with the idea that if the trade doesn't go your way, cut your losses and you're out for the day, right? Or if you break even, you break even. But if you have some buying power, we see this move down. You can see continued weakness in the market. Now, again, we start to see a move up here. 10.15, we get up to 10.15. We're seeing a move up. You could have taken it here, and you would have had a very healthy profit, right? We get a good move up. We get a pullback. You would have taken profits before suffering a loss, right? You wouldn't have come all the way down here. You would have taken your profits somewhere around here, and that's fine. And then we start to see another move up here at around 10.46. And we know that the markets were starting to pick up at around 10.46, right? We'd had a few minutes where we're just taking off. You could enter right here. And this is later in the minute. Of course, we even split the minutes. If you enter here, you have a pretty clear runway. It looks a lot like DraftKings. This is a point where I would have taken some size off, right? Get a quick, fast move up, some size off. And in this case, we didn't quite get to the peak. I would, in all good faith here, we have to be honest about our trades. I wouldn't have ridden this to the peak. With DraftKings, I would have got the peak, had a bit of a pullback, and then you take some size off. My final sizing would have come off here before we even hit here. So if we take the run all the way up, this is my first stop for taking off size. If I'm getting in here, I'm going to take some off here, and then we keep pulling back. I will take some off. I'm probably out by here, and I'm not at all disappointed. You're going to get a few hundred percentage points. And if you look and see what's happening, it really ran very much in parallel with the market, right? So the market, look here and look here. QCOM, Qualcomm, is almost a clone of what we saw in the market. You see that kind of pullback, right? After this much of a move up, you don't know what the correction is going to be. And there's every reason to believe that it could be pretty strong, right? We could have come right back down here. There's going to be a lot of profit taking on a lot of different securities. Of course, the QQQ is made up of a variety of securities. And it's the same thing with Qualcomm. After a move this big, you see a little bit of consolidation. That's okay. You start to come down, maybe you take a little size off. When you see it's continued here, you exit. Anybody telling you that they entered here and they tolerated this with 100% of their position size is just a really bad trader, and you need to stop listening to anything they say. Because if you didn't take some size off, you're a terrible trader. If you're using a trailing stop, you would have sold your entire position. You take some off. I would have never seen this peak because I would have been completely out. Here and here, that's enough of a pullback. And keep in mind, it's a Friday. So you need to be right. There's time decay, working away, eating away at the value of your trade. And of course, there's also IV. After this much activity, the slowdown alone, right? So when you're looking at this, I'm going to zoom in. When you're looking at this, you're thinking, okay, this was a big move, and this is a little bit of a slowdown. This isn't too painful. Okay, you pull back. Why would you take size off? Why is that important? Well, one, there's the move back. There's also the fact that the IV is calming down, meaning that simply no longer moving with the same velocity, our premium is falling. So our premium's falling for that reason. Our premium's falling through theta decay, and our premium's falling on the pullback here. So it ends up being very significant. I want to cut and I want to get out. I don't want to see the afternoon unless I'm having strength and a sustained move forward, or if I'm seeing a really big push in the market, I might give it another minute and then cut. And so to recap some of the things that we're looking at and some of the nuances you can add to your quiver and to your arsenal when it comes to trading is be conscious of the index that represents your security that you're trading, right? We see the QQQ, Qualcomm. Look at what's going on. Don't overfixate. But this kind of a move, significant, right? Might have given you reason not to enter here. Pretty significant. This kind of explosion up, very significant. If you can catch it, that's great. If not, it's not your normal entry. Could even give you a reason for a scalp. But you can also use options flow for that data. Then we're going over again and underscoring the importance of exiting properly. Remember, ignore all the fake gurus telling you, oh, I got out right near the peak, or they try to pad their lies. So they'll say, oh, I didn't quite get out there, but I got out here. I just saw something. Yeah, they can never explain what they saw. I explain everything clearly and transparently. I wouldn't have gotten out here, and I know that I would have exited here. And like I said, I actually would have taken some position sizing off here. That's not as cool as, the fake talk and saying, oh, I didn't even think of it till up here. No, well, I had a reason to exit here, right? And it's a Friday. I see the market pulling back. And remember, I don't want theta and IV working against me. So take some size off when you have size. If not, you can use a trailing stop to give yourself the opportunity to enjoy more upside, but protecting your profits. And that's part of the name of the game, right? You may not be right more often, but when you're right, you want to give yourself the opportunity to run. And when you're wrong, you want to cut. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that helps you understand how to enter, some of the nuanced items to look at, how to lock in your profits, and also how to allow your trades to run. These were two great trades. Guys, if you're interested in learning how to find your trades through unusual whales, see my description. You could sign up through my discount code. And if you're just interested in seeing these daily plays and learning more, please subscribe to this channel.